So I agree. What you said, style does make fights. So when Lubin fought Fandora, that was a great fight. That was really impressive. Given the height advantage, how they fought inside. Um, so I'm looking for. I don't. Is it going to be easy for Ortiz? That's the question. Is it going to be easy for Ortiz, or is it going to be a early stoppage? That's what I'm on the fence about, because you just never know how Lubin's going to come, because he fought some great fights, but he seemed to always come different with he has some good opponents, so he comes different. So it's going to be interesting to see that part, but again, I just think the power that Ortiz gonna come with, and I just don't think Lubin should be going toe to toe with Ortiz, being that Ortiz he's a powerful puncher.
You made a great point too, because I actually put that in my notes too. We don't know what type of Lubin that we might see, so depending on the game plan that Lubin has for this fight, this could be a possible. Like I said, with boxing, anything can happen depending on how Lubin comes, because Ortiz could be, can Ortiz knock out Lubin, especially if Lubin, plays into the hand of Ortiz in his game plan. It could be he can get up out of there. Lubin could get up out of there if he's not doing, what he's supposed to do properly. Or we could see a better Lubin, especially I always say before, because Lubin was on a run, you know, especially, with the Fundora fight. I don't know how. I think it's gonna be key to see how he is going up against somebody at the elite level, like a Ortiz at 154. Even though he fought Holmes, that was like a test to get back to, you know, and I don't want to say get back, but that was like a get your feet back wet, and then so he could get a chance to fight Ortiz. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But like you were saying though, it just depends on what type of Lubin we gonna see to see how this fight is really going to be able to, play out. So I think that's the key. And the thing, I want to touch on too, I feel like this fight is gonna be key too, because then we're gonna see who Boots will fight next, And do you think the winner between this fight has a chance of beating Jerron Boots in this?
Well, since I'm going with Ortiz in this one, it depends on how Ortiz win. That's what I'm going to look at. So I'm not going. I can't even call it right now, because I got to see what he's looking like. Ortiz, he's not the same Ortiz he was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I don't think. I don't. Watching some of his stuff, I don't. He's a little different. But he still hold that power. I'm willing to bet they're gonna have a small ring, so he don't have to do that much hunting. So Lubin, again, Lubin has the heart. I want him to bring a different skill set, to your point. So it all depends on how I play out. Um, I have to see what kind of Ortiz is gonna come to the ring. I'm not sure. I can't call that one yet.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like this fight is gonna let me kind of know how I would judge once, hopefully, if Boots or Ortiz fight against each other, or Boots versus Lubin, we'll see. Depending on who win. Like I said, we both picking Ortiz, so this is a kind of gauge to see how we'll feel about if whoever faces Boots. And so the last question I gotta ask before we wrap up, because this has been going on. This is a constant question the last few weeks, really the last month or so now. You know, do you think Boots has a chance to beat Crawford if they was to ever fight? If Crawford be like, okay, me and Boots, we gonna fight.
I mean, do we have a chance? Oh, yeah, you can get in the ring, you got a chance, But who I think will win, I'm not gonna call that one either. I mean, I don't want to go that far. I'm not gonna call it. I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna call that one. I don't want to call that one. It's just
Okay.
these two right here. I mean, there's plenty more matches that can be made. Let me just say that.
You
In
saying
boxing world, yeah.
it's so many more matches to be made before Boots even think about before Boots versus Crawford even come about. That's what you
No, I'm
saying?
just saying because it's how boxing is structured and how things play about, and the roll of the dice. There's so many factors. I mean, yeah, I don't want to. That might not
You
be even. Yeah, I don't want to call that one. I wouldn't call that one yet. I wouldn't even
okay?
get far to calling that one. I wouldn't want to pin them two together just yet.
Oh, okay, so y'all heard it here. We we gotta come up with a, nickname. So this is like our first. So we gotta give our supporters a nickname. So we not gonna call that one yet. I kind of agree with you a little bit. I feel like I kind of know who still gonna win. Like you said though, you can't. I don't want to. You always gotta respect the opponent. So I don't want to say like, oh, Boots just he
Right.
wouldn't be able to get it done. But when you going up against Bud is different. And it's two fights, like in particular, that kind of let me know that I feel like, okay, I just don't. Like I said, I hold off. I might have to do that, on the side. But so we
Mhm.
touched on a lot today. We touched on Layla Ali versus Clarissa
Mhm.
Shields.
Mhm.
We talked about uh the big fight, the first fight in November, because there's so many fights coming up. We got
Mhm.
Ortiz versus Lubin.
Mhm.
Then we talked about that as well. Then we talked about Boots a little bit. We sprinkled that in there. So we know we had a good conversation. So y'all heard it here first. This is hopefully more to come, more content we about to give y'all. It's continue to boxing truth. We got Vivid Low behind the scenes on the camera. So you already know what time it is. It's the Queen Michael K. You know you can catch me on Afternoon Sports Slate as well. This is Three Punch Combo. And it's a wrap.